Hi everyone, thanks for coming back for part 2. In this next one, I added the words forehead and hand. And we also had mark of the beast, Obama, bride, whore, and tire. And so these are the words that I added. And you see the word hand, actually hands, is coming up in the plain text. But you have the word hand over here in the yellow. And then you have the word for coming up in the blue with the letters F, O, R, E, and the word head is coming up in the green with the letters H, E, A, D, and it's sharing the D in bride. And then you have beast coming up in the burgundy. Okay, in this one I added the word etch, which I've explained before. I believe that's a more accurate word for the word mark, and I believe it's also a second confirmation that it's referring to the mark of the beast. But you see that coming up here in the green with the letters E, T, C, H. Okay, in this one I added the words vine and wine vat, and this is just another way of saying wine press. And the way I came up with that is I was finding that the word wine comes up pretty easily in the tables, but for some reason I wasn't able to get the word press to come up. So I looked at the word wine press in the scriptures, and when I looked at the definition, I noticed that it's actually described as a wine vat or a tub in the definitions. You see that over here. That's what a wine press is. It's a tub or trough shaped receptacle, a vat in which grapes are trodden. And so the word vat comes up, and I believe the word tub comes up also. I'll go ahead and try that just to be sure. Okay, so tub comes up as well, but I'll go over the first one first. Over here you see the word wine coming up in the green, the letters W, I, N, E. You see the word vat coming up in the burgundy with the letters V, A, T, and then you see the word vine coming up in the yellow, and it's sharing the V in Jehovah. Of course, Jesus is the vine and we are the branches. And over here you see the letter V, and then I, N, E. And so I'll go to the next one that had the word tub, and that's coming up in the burgundy with the letters T, U, B. And then you see this phrase over here, valley, full of trenches. And this is significant once I read the matrix. And also you see the term Jehoshaphat. And the whole reason why I wanted to share this table next, because I've had it for a few days, is because I saw this video coming up in my subscriptions over here by Bold Soldier for Christ, and there's been a lot of talk about dividing Israel lately, with Donald Trump meeting with Netanyahu and the talk of a two-state solution. So there's been a lot of talk about dividing Israel, and he's quoted over here Joel 3:2, where it says, I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I just saw that this morning, and it inspired me to go ahead and share this table, which I've had for a while. But you see the words Jehoshaphat over here. You see the word valley over here. And then, of course, it's talking about the wine vat or the wine tub, which is the same thing as the wine press. And once I read this matrix, you'll see that there's an illusion here that's talked about of red water, which looked like blood. And so I'm going to go ahead and read the matrix before I continue going on with the rest of the terms that come up, so you can see how that reads. But then I'll read a summary, which I have over here, of the entire chapter, so you can see what the whole chapter is about. Okay, so this is coming up in the second book of Kings, chapter 3, verse 11, and it says, "But Jehoshaphat," and Jehoshaphat actually means Jehovah judges. And you can see that here in Joel 3, where it talks about the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I'll just go ahead and show you the definition for Jehoshaphat. It means Jehovah has judged. Okay, so it says, "But Jehoshaphat said, Is there not a prophet of Jehovah that we may inquire of Jehovah by him? And one of the kings of Israel's servants answered and said, Elisha, the son of Shaphat," which is the second part of Jehoshaphat, which means judges, "is here, who poured water on the hands of Elijah." And of course, Elijah means Yah is God. And Jehoshaphat said, "The word of Jehovah is with him." So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat and the king of Edom went down to him. And Elisha said unto the king of Israel, "What have I to do with thee? Get thee to the prophets of thy father and to the prophets of thy mother." And the king of Israel said unto him, "Nay, for Jehovah hath called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab." And Elisha said, "As Jehovah of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, surely were it not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat the king of Judah, I would not look toward thee nor see thee. But now bring me a minstrel." And it came to pass, when the minstrel played, that the hand of Jehovah came upon him, and he said, "Thus saith Jehovah, make this valley full of trenches, for thus saith Jehovah, ye shall not see wind, neither shall ye see rain, yet that valley shall be filled with water, and ye shall drink, both ye and your cattle and your beasts, and this is but a light thing in the sight of Jehovah. He will also deliver the Moabites into your hand, and ye shall smite every fortified city and every choice city, and shall fell every good tree, and stop all fountains of water, and mar every good piece of land with stones." And it came to pass in the morning, about the time of the offering, the oblation, that, behold, there came water by the way of Edom, and the country was filled with water. Okay, so God did a miracle. He filled the city with water, and all the trenches, he filled them with water so that the horses could have water to drink. But now I'm going to go ahead and read the summary, so I don't have to read the entire chapter, so you can see what the chapter is all about. And so this is 2 Kings chapter 3 summary, and it starts out by saying, "A little mood music, please," and that's in reference to when they had the minstrel play the music before Elisha prophesied. And so I'll just read this summary over here real quick. It says, Ahab's son Joram becomes the new king of Israel. He's still doing wicked deeds, following Jeroboam's sins, but he gets rid of the sacred stone to Baal his father had made. The king Moab gets tired of paying tribute in the form of sheep to Joram, so he revolts. The king of Judah, Jehoshaphat, agrees to help Joram put down the rebellion, They lead their joint army through the desert of Moab, but run out of food and water. Jehoshaphat asks if there are any prophets around these parts, and Joram says that Elisha is somewhere nearby, so they go pay him a visit. Annoyed, Elisha tells Joram to go ask the pagan prophets about his parents, but Joram says no. Elisha agrees to give advice, but only, he says, because he respects Jehoshaphat. He asks a harpist to come in and play. As a harpist plays, Elisha prophesies. Speaking through Elisha, God says that he'll fill the land with water and pools so they and their animals can drink. Then he'll let them totally put down the Moab's rebellion, destroying every major town and fort. Okay, the next part is entitled Blood in the Water, and it says, in the morning the land is filled with pools of water. The Moabites see the sun reflecting off the pools in the color of blood, and they think the armies of Judah and Israel fought and killed each other in the night. The Moabites attack, but are defeated when the Israelites get up, kill everybody, and ravage Moab. They also throw stones in the fields to cover and ruin them. However, in a last-ditch attempt to save himself, the king of Moab sacrifices his firstborn son on the wall of his city. This causes either the wrath of the god Chemosh or a kind of disgust and outrage to infect the Israelites. They return back to their own lands. So there's an optical illusion that's created in the water, making the water look like blood. And so the Moabites think that Judah and Israel, which are the two tribes of Israel, which I believe represent the Jews and the Gentiles, but the Moabites think that the two tribes of Israel have fought against each other and they've all killed each other, and so they try to attack, but then Israel and Judah defeat the Moabites because they really didn't all kill each other. And so that's the matrix that comes up in this table about Obama bride and the red wedding. And so that was the original table where I put in red wed, and the very first thing that came up was red water, but it wasn't because it was really talking about the red water just yet. That's later in the matrix, but that's the first thing that came up when you put in Obama, mark, beast, red wed, bride, tire, and whore. The first thing that comes up is red water, which in this case was an optical illusion of blood, not actual blood. But when the real red wedding takes place, which is what's talked about in Revelations 14 and 19, then there will be actual blood that will reach up into the horses' bridles, as it says here. And so I thought that was interesting how that comes up. And as you can see, the words wine tub or wine vat, as we had in the previous table, come up in ELS terms. And so I have a few more terms in this table, and then I'll go on to the one that's coming up in Mark 11 after that. Okay, this one I added the terms buy, sell, because we had mark and beast coming up in the previous table, and then bow down, icon, which is the actual word in the Greek for image, and then beast. And so you see the word bow coming up in the blue over here with the letters B-O-W, down comes up in the plain text, and the word icon comes up in the yellow with the letters I-C-O. N. And then you have buy and sell coming up here in the lavender. You have buy and then sell in the bluish lavender over here with the letters S-E-L-L. And I'm about out of time in this video, so I'll have to continue in the next video. Thank you.